What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the world-famous Comedy Store here in Hollywood, California, for another episode of Comedy Store Wrestling. My name's Eddie Torres. I am joined, as always, by the inappropriate one, Earl Skakel. And today we have our first active champion in the house, Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser. How are you?
Eddie, thanks for having me. I always say don't die with the story and you tell it. And we were talking earlier and you said you can take off the jacket if you want. It's going to get hot in here. And it's funny, probably a year ago, WWE had contacted me about doing like a Nexus documentary, uncut, uncensored. So they invited me to sit down and talk about everything that went down with the Nexus. And before we started rolling, the producer was like, "Do you mind if you take off your New Japan jacket?" I said, I worked hard. Very nicely, I said, I worked hard for this jacket, hard. And you guys just inducted Jushin Liger into the Hall of Fame, so let me just be me, See?
Jushin Liger.
You're representing, I'm representing here with New Japan, so let me just be me. And the producer was like, "Sure, no problem." We kept doing the interview, but they never put out the documentary. One, probably because maybe me wearing the jacket, and two, Daniel Bryan was no longer with WWE, because at the time they had did me, Wade Barrett, and that was it. Interviews. Okay. I guess they were going to get the other guys, but then they just axed it. But I'm proud of this shit, I'm proud of New Japan. New Japan is sacred to me, but it is getting kind of hot in here.
Yeah, please.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Well, I forgot to mention it at the top, but you are the brand new New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Champion. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah,
I've watched the story develop with Lawler. Lawler's, I know Lawler, so it's like I've been following the storyline. So it's been a long time in the making, right?
Yeah, September 11th, 2002 will be 20 years I've been wrestling, and time is not on our side, man. So this is my first major championship, so it's very near and dear to me. Like, strong New Japan is sacred to me, and when something is sacred to you, you treat it differently.
Yeah. Explain for some of the fans that may be watching that are not aware of what New Japan Strong is. Like, what can you explain, like, in a nutshell?
Yeah, New Japan Strong is like NXT. It's our American-based league out in LA with all the craziness in the world kind of getting better, but it seems like it's getting worse. We're able to travel with New Japan Strong, Florida, Dallas, Philadelphia, where I won the title. NXT is a brand that I want to help elevate. You've got guys like Tanahashi that's with New Japan Strong. You've got Jay White. You've got a plethora of talent. Brody King, some of my favorites, Jeff Cobb. So just to be able to help elevate those guys and be a part of the locker room, which at one time I didn't think I could hang with these guys. But it was actually September 2019, I ran into Lance Hoyt, who him and I were in developmental together with WWE. And we crossed paths. I said, I always had dreams and aspirations after my release with WWE to do New Japan. And he said, come to a show at the Globe Theater in LA, November 2019. And then that's when I sat and watched my first New Japan show. And from beginning to end, I was saying to myself, man, can I hang with these guys? This is a different style. And after it was all said and done, I was like, man, I can elevate these guys, And if it wasn't for Rocky Romero, I wouldn't be sitting here with the New Japan Strong Championship, So I owe it to Rocky because he just gave me a shot, And again, when I speak, I kind of go all over the place. But the seconds in winning this title, it didn't matter if I was black, gay, straight. It didn't matter. The place in Philadelphia erupted, So I just want to leave my mark here in the world better than what it was.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Rocky for everything he does in pro wrestling. I mean, my heart was, rooting for him at the Forbidden Door. But I mean, I knew he was, doing the favors, as they say. Okay, you know what I mean?
But he won at that. I saw you wrestle. Was it?
At the Vermont. Not recently though. It was the one before.
A couple months ago, maybe
Mutiny,
2 months ago.
Maybe. when you shave
got your
head.
hair
Oh
cut.
yeah, the handicap
And I
match.
was like, wow, this guy's all in.
Yeah, and then you see Tom Lawler. He ate the hair.
Oh yeah, what a
Yeah, he
lunatic.
is filthy, man. But
Yeah.
he's one opponent that helped elevate me. He's like my Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's my favorite wrestler of all time, and Tom Lawler helped elevate me, big time, big time.
Yeah, he's great with his MMA background and everything. He makes it, he knows how to do the moves so that they look like they hurt.
Yes.
They do hurt
Yes.
a lot of the time.
Yes.
I mean, does that help given his background in the UFC? Like, do you trust him more than you would say someone who's just getting in to the business?
I trust him 100% because biggest compliment from any peer was from him when he said that he would have never thought that he would have been in the ring with someone like me. But the minute that we touched, he knew it was going to be something special, something magical. And, Tom is unorthodox, and I'm unorthodox. So the chemistry that we've had has been incredible, you know what I mean? So, I love my competition, I take it head on. I love when some bitch is better than me. And it makes me work. It makes me want to push. And yeah, he brings the best out of me.
Hell yeah. And unorthodox is one word for Lawler.
Oh yeah.
When he's got the Daisy Dukes and he pulls them down and there's even smaller Daisy Dukes underneath. I mean,
Yeah, I could have gone without that visual.
He gets a lot of heat, man. He gets a lot of heat from the crowd, but
Yeah.
he can back it up. He can back it up.
Oh, definitely.
yeah, dude. Yeah. We recently had last night the Forbidden Door, New Japan working with AEW. How do you feel about that? I mean, are you stoked with that? Do you want there to be more, or do you kind of want it to stay separate?
No, I think it's just, it's great for all of us. I'm still a fan. I still watch all the product. I try to tell my audience, like, don't get picked into watching a certain brand over another. Just watch it all. And I wish I could have been there. Maybe the next Forbidden Door pay-per-view or collaboration, I can be a part of it, representing New Japan. But yeah, I just love what's going on with wrestling today. It's amazing,
It's a wild time. Like I posted a little picture of was it Shingo and Sting fist bumping, and I'm like, what is going on?
Shingo and
2022 is weird.
yeah, and I tweeted like, I want to have a dream match with Shingo because just the way he's explosive in the ring, the way he moves, and just talking to some of the other New Japan guys like Jeff Cobb and Chase Owens, they say the same thing about Shingo. He's a master in the ring.
Yeah, man.
What does that do in the locker room? Like when Sting did his opening jump from the top of the sign, does that get the boys in the back excited? Like, hey, this guy's 63. We got to step it up.
Yeah, Sting is like the Undertaker.
Right.
Like he's an OG. Like anytime Sting walks into a room, people stand up. People acknowledge him. So for him to be doing that for so long, there's a ton of respect.
And for sure, man. Like, and I would assume. I mean, I would feel that way. Seeing Sting jump off, like I'm gonna have to start doing that. What excuse do I have for not doing that?
Yeah, I can imagine the Young Bucks are like, hey, we better step our game up a bit. Like this guy's, well past the age, of a lot of wrestlers who are no longer with us.
Yeah, thank goodness, and I hope. I'm 38. I'll be 39 November 2nd. I hope to be working because I just love this business. If I would have done this for the money, I would have complained a long time ago. I do it for the love, and I enjoy it. I don't need to do this. I just love doing it. And if I can do it till the wheels fall off, I'm going to 60, 70. I wish Bob Backlund could come back and work with me in New Japan. I know he can still go. I'm real close with his daughter. But Bob, I think he's very pro WWE, which is cool, But I don't know if he would ever step in the New Japan ring. I would love him to, but
that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
but
he can still go.
But he's a company man, I think. I saw him recently on one of those shows that they do, where they went out looking for old relics and they stopped by his house because they wanted the Sheik's old, I forget what they're called, but the hammers or whatever.
Wait, what show is that? Like,
it's a WWE show where they go.
Oh, I see.
They're gathering relics for the Hall of Fame or
Like
whatever.
pawn shop.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Oh, they did one where they went to his house?
Yeah, they went to his house to looking for the Sheik's old. I forget what those things are called. The Turkish.
Yes.
Turkish,
And he had him?
He had him. He did him not part ways.
Oh, shit. How much money did he get for it?
He gave them a different set. He had a few sets, so he gave them
He
one
didn't
or the
give
other.
shit away, huh?
He didn't give away the originals. He's like, this for personal reasons, I cannot give you these because
You know, one thing I can remember that he gave away was he had an ab wheel. He gave the big cast. And obviously, he's been maybe using it because he's shredded now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gave away his and this like ab wheel was heavy as shit. And I'm like, man, you're lucky to have that. But I'm surprised he didn't give away the clubs.
not the original clubs. He gave a set, and then like I think they offered him like $5,000, but he turned it down. He was like, just take them, just take them as a gift to the company, which is the case for most of them. A lot of them, unless they're going to a collector, like if they go to Kane's house or Undertaker's house, they're usually like, just take it. It's better it's with you than in my garage. But
Yeah, I saw the one with the Undertaker.
Yeah,
I saw that was pretty cool.
But yeah, Bob, the second they walked into his house, he was screaming and rolling around, doing rolls on the floor and trying to take him down. I'm like, he still goes.
And in pretty good shape. What is he, about 70?
Yeah, he's over 70. Yeah, he's over 70. But yeah.
Now, how does it work with New Japan Strong and like the New Japan talent? Like, is it an open door? Like, can any of those guys come to the show if they want to, or are they trying to keep the rosters kind of separate with just a couple sprinkles here and there?
I think with the pandemic easing up, we're trying to bring in talent. I think it's definitely an open door. I think they're trying to bring in people for the right fit. The right fit. Guys from Japan, guys from the U.S. Yeah. They're trying to be different.
Yeah, because I know that it's like you said, it's kind of developmental. Not really, but it's the NXT type of brand. But to me, NXT always worked best when they would bring in, something like in the beginning, in the very beginning of NXT, when they had the older, Chris Jericho was there or whoever it was.
Oh, the old NXT.
The old. I don't like the reality show aspect of it.
Oh, I hated that.
Not that part, but just having them interact with the older guys. I think that's how you get experience and you learn and sit under the learning tree, as they say.
Sure. Yeah, I wish guys like Chris Jericho could maybe come to New Japan Strong. But, having guys like Moxley, I remember a couple of years ago, I couldn't get anything WrestleMania weekend. I forget which city that particular WrestleMania was in. And the one thing that I got was a death match offer during WrestleMania weekend. I was like, the only fucking way I'm doing a death match is with Moxley. That's the only way I'm doing a death match, because that's when it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's the only way I would do it. I would never do any of that stuff. But yeah, New Japan Strong, just open door. There's so much talent that I would love to see part of New Japan full time. But yeah, you asked me about other guys. I got to focus on me, man. Right. When I was with WWE, I did my thing as a Nexus, part of a group, not comfortable with myself, not comfortable on the mic. I did my thing with Titus. Titus was the talker. I was the wrestler. I did my thing with Bob Backlund. Now with New Japan, they're finally giving me the shot. I've got to focus on me, because I'm only as good as my last match.
Sure. Yeah. And now, are there aspirations after this? Now, do you think you'd travel to Japan, try and go after one of the IWGP titles?
I mean, that's the goal. Tanahashi, man. Every time we run into each other, I don't know who can bow the lowest. He's such a fan of me. I'm such a fan of him. I would love to team with him. I'd love to, do the G1 next year, hopefully. So
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I have a feeling that Tom Lawler is going to maybe win the G1 this year. I'm rooting for him, because that'll just make me want to go over there and challenge him again for the Strong Openweight Championship a fourth time, this time in Japan. So that's the goal of mine, to go out there. I've traveled all over the world with WWE, but not Japan, and that is the goal.
Cool.
Can I ask why you wouldn't do a death match? Is it because I just, like I told you before,
Those things are scary, man. I'm a fan just like you are. Those things are fucking scary. Like the light bulbs and like
the barbed wire.
the barbed wire and like, do they take care of you after the matches? I've never been a part of that. You
Not
know?
really. I've seen like the Good Brothers just kind of backstage, just water and rag, trying to keep their face together. I'm like, Jesus.
Well, I went backstage Saturday night after the main event, and the main guy, was it how do you say that?
Slack.
He was on a chair, bleeding from probably 20 orifices, and his wife was the one taking care of him.
Yeah.
And he was like, I won't say some of the language he used. He's like, I don't want a medic. You take care of me. And you couldn't. I thought it was in a horror movie. Like, you couldn't see his face, and so I was just. Is it because you don't feel safe, other than with Moxley?
Oh, I don't feel. I just don't feel safe. I mean, there's a community that loves that stuff. I just can't do that to my body. My mom will whoop my ass. My mom
I don't blame you.
And we were talking about my mom earlier. Like back in the '80s, she's my soundboard, my biggest fan. I'm the only child, you know. She used to live out here back in the 80s, and she lived out here 6 months trying to pursue comedy. She failed, but she's funnier now than ever, so I wish she would have been here. She was calling me now before I got here, talking about stuff that's going on in the news. I said, Mom, I can't.
Yeah.
I've got to focus on this first-time interview with the title, and I got to focus on this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a depressing world to watch the news.
That's why for me it's R&B, relaxing music, and comedy. So when I got this opportunity to vibe with you guys, I said, yeah, this is where it's at.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you giving us the time. Honestly, I mean, we're still a little baby of a show. We're still getting started here.
Yeah, we're like ECW in the high school gyms right now. We're just.
Oh no, don't say that, man. That's where I started, man. I started doing the high school gyms and all that stuff. So for me, whether it's in front of 50 people or 20,000 people, yeah, I love it, man. I love it.
How many years did it take you before you got like the shot at WWE?
Well, I started September 11th, 2002. So from 2002 to 2009, I was doing the Northeast Indies because I'm from New Jersey. So I was just a weekend warrior on that grind. And then I got signed May 4th, 2009 out of 75 guys and girls from all over the world. I beat them all out. The same day I got signed was the same day AJ Lee got signed.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was a great experience. It was something that I always wanted. So there was no plan B for me. Plan B was being a firefighter, and yeah,
It didn't work out.
No, hell no, hell no. I moved.
I think
out.
it worked out for the best.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think you're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to hang in there.
Yeah, man.
Who are some of your influences? Like, you know, because I'm 53, so like I grew up watching, like, say, Rick Rude. And,
Oh yeah.
did you have someone from back in that era that you were like, I want to do what he's doing?
Shawn Michaels. Everyone loves Shawn Michaels, and Ricky Steamboat, Brad Armstrong, the Great Muta. And like I study these guys still to this day, the Great Muta, Randy Orton, not by what they do, but how they do it, the intent, the thought process, you know. Working with Tom Lawler, you know, I tombstoned him on the outside. You know, what would The Undertaker do? The Undertaker would probably not tombstone him on the pad. He would tombstone him on the concrete floor, you know, just thinking, you know, because him and I were wrestling. We ended up where I had him in a tombstone position. So why not just tombstone him on the cement floor, not the pad, just like little stuff. What would he do? So I try to steal the intent to why they do what they do, or what would they do in that situation. So, yeah, I'm always studying and always learning.
Now, are you the type of worker that you sit down and write out everything you want to do in a match? Like Macho Man, I read stories that he would sit there and write every single step.
No, I like to feel it out there. I like to improvise a lot. But yeah, I don't write everything down. I do write stuff down. I do a lot of studying. I watch a lot of Japanese stuff. Before working with New Japan, I would just study and pray for the opportunity. Studying the style too, because it's different from WWE. Mm-hmm. I've been trained to do 6-minute matches, 5-minute matches where it's just go, go, go. New Japan, the strong style, it's a little different. It's just, you know, you see, it's different. The ring is different. The selling is different. All the issues are settled in the ring. So I've just been studying nonstop, still to this day.
Yeah, people laying it in a little bit more in New Japan.
Yeah, physical.
Very physical.
As Regal would say, William Regal, hit hard in safe places. So
Sure.
I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to lay it in.
Because I'm a novice New Japan fan. Like when Eddie took me to that show you were on, that was my first exposure, and it almost seemed real. Like
That's what I want.
I don't mean that as an insult. Like
Yeah.
like some of the stuff we see with WWE and AEW is a little like you get the feeling it's more
Yes.
choreographed than. But like with that show you guys were on, especially with you and Lawler, it was like they look like they're actually fighting.
Yeah, and that's what the goal is. Like I'll see it in my DMs all the time. Like when I post stuff, people that are casual fans or not fans at all, they'll message me like, "Oh man, like are you okay? He cut your hair. Like he ate your hair. Are you okay?" And I sell it, man. I said, "No, I'm not okay. No, like it's real to me. It's real enough to have caused 3 surgeries." I've got to take that from The Undertaker. When people ask him, is wrestling fake? Well, it's real enough to have caused him 13, 14, however many surgeries he's had. So, yeah, this is as real as it gets.
Yeah. I mean, I recently saw a little interview somebody did with Chris Van Vliet, who was here.
Friend
of ours, and they were like, it's fake, right? And he's like, really? Like, so are the movies you watch and everything else. But
yeah, I love Chris, man. I love Chris. I think he might have told me about this opportunity, and my boy Farbod, but he's in Japan, so I knew about this, but it had to be after June 25th,
Yeah, we got to get Farbod out here, by the way, to come hang out at the store. He also, I believe he works with Miro and a couple
Yeah.
We'll make it all connect.
Yeah, he's got the hookup.
I wanted to ask, so when you're working with like talent that doesn't speak English, how do you guys, since you're doing so much improvising, like how do you communicate? Is it all hand things?
It's funny.
Or?
I don't want to give away the secrets, but but you think they don't know, but they know.
Certain things. Right?
Yeah, they know. Like, I feel like when I first started working with New Japan, they didn't know me. You know what I mean? The staff didn't know me, but if the show's at 7, I'm going to be there like 2, 3 o'clock. I'm early. Whether I'm champion or not, I'm there early, stretching, saying hi to everyone. So there's a respect thing. Yeah, I have no issues. I communicate with Kenta, Tanahashi, Ren Narita, Yuya. Yeah, I communicate with those guys great. Yuji Nagata, he's a bucket list match for me. He's still rocking and rolling. I would love to wrestle him, Yuji Nagata, or team with him, but I would most want to wrestle him because him and Kurt Angle back in TNA, they had epic matches.
Aside from Nagata, who else is in your bucket list for New Japan? People that you haven't... Suzuki, have you worked Suzuki?
Oh, yeah, Minoru Suzuki, and that's one intimidating guy. Minoru Suzuki, like, I did my research on him. I studied. I was like, man, every guy he gets in the ring with, he eats him up.
Or girl. I saw him against Asuka, and it was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what organization it was, if it was Noah or something, but it was him and Asuka, and I read a story because I had actually looked up afterwards and I felt bad. I was like, oh my God, he's killing her. And then I looked it up and it's like she wanted him to lay it in as hard as possible just to make it that much worse. But it's cringy.
I mean, he seems like he enjoys it.
God.
Well, he's just like, I mean, again, I'm a fan, but I had to do my research. I was like, man, he eats guys up in the ring. So my goal was to not hold back, just give it to him. So whatever I had to do, I'd take off my wrist tape, choke him with it. I'd take this fucking wire, wrap it around his neck, whatever it takes. And I did that.
Yeah.
And he looked at me. And then I kept going, I kept going. So you gotta bring it. You gotta bring it with him. So I say I've seen him wrestle a lot of guys recently because he's been in the States. I felt like I gave it to him the most because some guys might freeze up in there. You just got to give it to him. And that's something I learned from William Regal back in WWE. The first time I wrestled him, his style is just in your face, and like he's like ah, like very scary, you know, very scary, and like it's a respect thing. So I just don't fight him back. I just let him eat me up, you know. And after our first encounter, me and William Regal in the ring, he was like, "You gotta bring it, Sunshine. You know, you've gotta lay it in. You're not gonna hurt me." And then from then on, like I'm fucking in your face, you know, like fucking crazy, you know. Just love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
It's real to me, you know. So
yeah, you got to make it. You know, you got to feel it. It's got to be passionate.
Backstage, I'm very calm, cool, and collected. But like I'll tell you, like I might say some things out there. Please don't take offense to it. Like I might claw at you. I might bite you. Like please don't take offense to it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've become fascinated with, you know, through the years, become friends with some of the, you know, workers, and being able to hang out back and seeing how calm everybody is, and then how that switch when they go through the curtain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People have that switch. Suzuki was really nice backstage.
Oh, really nice, right, huh?
Very calm, quiet back there, just smoking a cigarette. And,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's something that, like, I didn't know, like, you know, the first time meeting him, I was like, oh, goodness, he's smoking cigarettes. I was like, he smells like smoke. I'm like, oh, man. I'm like,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm an old school New Japan fan. So I when he wrestled Barnett's Bloodsport, that's when I got. Josh and I are buddies,
Yes,
so
yes,
he's
yes.
like, come through. You know, we just hang out backstage, and I met Suzuki, and the first thing he looked at me was like, beer. I'm like, oh, what?
Oh,
He's like,
God.
beer. I'm like, oh, yep, I'll get you some beers, and just ran back, got him some beers, and he cheers me, and I got to have a beer with Suzuki, which is like, if you're a New Japan fan, people know.
That's good.
That's a moment in time, but
No, but it's funny you talk about guys that are like chill backstage. I remember back in WWE, like meeting the Miz. You know, like he was just very loud, and like I'm a quiet guy. Like if we're in the locker room, if we're like a gang of us in the locker room, I'm just quiet, and he just comes in there just loud and obnoxious. I couldn't stand him at first. Years later, he was my last feud in WWE.
Oh,
I was
really?
with Bob Backlund, and he was actually rooting for me because he was the Intercontinental Champion. He was rooting for me to win the title, and he helped me out promo-wise because he's one of the best, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we worked together, and he helped me out so much, and I didn't have bad things to say to him back then. He was just loud back in the day, but fast forward to him helping me out, like, he's one of the best, so props to him.
hell yeah.
Promo wise, do you have someone that you not try and copy, but influenced your style of promos?
Well, that's a great question. Like, I study a lot of actors like Will Smith, Matthew McConaughey, Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington. Tom Hanks said it the best: "You're dope if you don't steal from the greats." You know. And again, I'm not stealing the style. Like I said earlier, I'm stealing their mindset, their intent to why they do what they do. So, yeah, Denzel Washington's one of my favorites. So I try to just be me. I stutter. If I stutter, so what, you know? I just embrace it. But now that I'm out and comfortable, I don't have to talk like this, because before I came out, I would talk like this to sound tougher. I don't have to do that, you know?
Yeah.
I was a Shane Douglas mark, you know? I hate using wrestling terms like mark, but
It's all right. You're
Like-
looking at two.
No. But yeah, Shane Douglas was my favorite. So I would always cut promos like this when I did backyard wrestling, and it just carried over. But nah, I don't have to do that. I could just be me. If I stutter, I stutter. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, is there something now? You know, things are tumultuous with pro wrestling, not just in AEW and New Japan, but all the things that are going on in WWE.
Yeah.
Putting in your mind that something drastic were to change in WWE with management and whatnot, would you ever go back? Would you push for a forbidden door situation with like New Japan and WWE or anything like that?
Yeah, you know, I would love to. I would really love to, because I remember when Laurinaitis took over, he had called me up, and he asked me because he had hired me back in 2009. He originally hired me. So when he took over for Mark Carano, he called me up, asked me how I was doing. I said, "Oh, I'm doing well, Johnny. I'm with New Japan." And Johnny said, "Yeah, I used to work for, All Japan." I said, "Yes, I've watched your stuff, I said, "Yeah, I'm doing my thing, so thank you." But yeah, I would love to. I would love to go back to NXT even because that's where I started, I mean, I was on the original season of NXT, so just going back and helping elevate talent because again, time ain't on our side,
Yeah.
I'm 38. Again, I want to push it till the wheels come off, but who knows? But I would love to. I remember seeing Norman Smiley during WrestleMania Dallas, and he said, would I ever come back as a trainer? I said, yeah, I'd come back as a trainer, but I'm not ready for it. You're not going to pull the plug on me. I still want to do more in wrestling. But yeah, I'd love to be a coach or anything like that.
No.
He told me to fuck off once at the mall.
Oh, Norman?
Yeah, I was just, I was a huge fan of his.
Really? No way.
He's going down the escalator. I'm going up. I said, Norman, can you do the wiggle real fast? Because that was just.
Yeah.
And he just looks at me and goes, fuck off.
Oh, my God.
I'm still a fan.
Are you serious?
It's all good.
But wait, was this in Miami?
No, it's the Beverly Center right down the street.
Really? Are you sure it was him?
100%. 100%.
Are you serious at the Beverly Center?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, how long ago?
Oh, this is probably 12 or so years ago, and I was so starstruck. I don't get starstruck at all, given who I see here every night. But I was like, oh my God, that's the wiggle. That's Norman Smiley. I got it.
What the hell would he be doing over here? I wonder.
Maybe they're. I don't know. Maybe WCW was out here.
I don't think that was him.
I'm telling you what. I'm a mark of marks because I was a WCW guy. So, I just loved his angle where he was the hardcore champion, but he hated being hit. It was just humorous.
Yeah, it's funny. Like Buff Bagwell, I ran into during WrestleMania weekend. And I was at a signing for New Japan. He came right up to me. He wanted to meet me. I couldn't believe it. Buff Bagwell wanted to meet me. Yeah. So since you say you're a WCW guy, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, no, I met Buff Bagwell here at the Roast of the Iron Sheik, and he's an interesting guy.
Oh yeah. Oh goodness.
Asking me for certain items that were not on the menu at the.
Buff.
So
I understand.
John, you think you had something? Did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. I guess my question would be, 20 years is no joke, right? The Rock was only active for 6 to 8 years, like full time. You've been doing this for 20 years. You have a title. Obviously, you've been doing things right, but you have to have some regrets. I want to hear about some regrets you might have over a 20-year career, things you would have done differently.
Regrets.
Doing this podcast.
No, hell no, man. I always say don't die with the story, tell it. So however I can share my story or help elevate guys, You guys help elevate me, I help elevate you. Maybe I wish I would have came out to myself sooner, but better late than never.
Any wrestling angles that you weren't happy with that you could have done differently? Like any
Yeah, I mean,
storylines?
I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy being a part of the Nexus because a lot of competition amongst each other. Not in a bad way, but who's gonna stand out? Who's gonna talk on the mic? And again, I wasn't comfortable with myself. The coolest people part of the Nexus were probably like Wade, Heath Slater. Heath Slater and I were always getting into trouble. We were the potheads of the group.
Okay.
So we would always get into trouble. But what's the question? Any regrets?
20 years in the biz. There's got to be something. I think that's what John was getting at.
Yeah.
Like, were you offered a character and you're like, I don't think so, or any angles you passed on, like in terms of wrestling a certain person?
I was always one of those guys that I love the business so much, so I didn't politic. I didn't politic to get this. It was just hard work. I didn't throw anyone under the bus. I was just a guy that, like, if something went wrong in the match and it wasn't my fault, I would just admit to it. Sorry. whoever producer was helping us, Arn Anderson or IRS working backstage. Yeah, like if you upset those guys, I just take the blame, you know. So maybe if I wish I could have maybe spoke up more, maybe just been a little bit more aggressive like I am now. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. But
Good. You know that IRS. You know who IRS is, right?
Come on, man.
Not just his gimmick. I mean, you know
50
who, you know whose dad he is, right?
I was
Oh, yeah.
Before I knew wrestling wasn't completely factual, I really thought he was an IRS agent.
Oh, he was scary.
And that
He was scary.
he was sent there to make sure the wrestlers pay their taxes.
Yeah.
But I'm an idiot. So
He was scary. Yeah.
can I ask you a question? I'm scared to ask you this question.
No,
but
please.
I'm so curious as to how you took this angle. I loved the Billy and Chuck wedding angle because I thought it was real. I thought, oh, wow, these guys are coming out. This is amazing. I mean, they were on like Good Morning America and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
And, you know, as a straight man, this line has always bothered me when they're about to literally exchange vows. And at this point, you think it's real. And Billy Gunn takes a step back. He's like, whoa, what the hell is this, Bischoff? I'm not gay. And the whole crowd erupted like it would be the worst thing in the world if he was gay. Did that bother you at all, that storyline and how they ended it?
Again, I just suppress my feelings. So when I would see stuff like that, I would just watch. I wouldn't even budge or sell it or acknowledge it because of fear of people like questioning me. So it wasn't my favorite storyline, you know. I would just watch it. I'm a fan of the business where I don't like, you know, write stuff to dirt sheets or write comments or anything like that. I just watch it as a fan. And again, it wasn't my favorite storyline. You know, I was probably watching more of Kurt Angle and like matches with him and Chris Benoit and those guys.
Hey, you can't mention that name here. My goodness.
Why not?
Really, they've erased him from all the WWE network.
You know, I'm really close with his son, you know.
Yeah. He's training, right?
Yeah, he's training. He's been training for a long time. He's been training for a long time. I'm like, when are you going to step in the ring, you know? The thing is, David is such a sweet kid, man. Such a good kid because I would always see him backstage in WWE, and I would purposely go up to him and talk to him and like be a friend, you know, like. Yeah. And he's just trying to make moves, you know. So I hope he gets in the ring. I always BS with them and say, you know, I'd love to get you in the ring. But yeah, you know.
I mean, if it's going to be, you know, I think for a debut, it should be somebody that knows him, like yourself, you know.
Yeah.
To keep him safe and, you know, get him comfortable with it, I think. I hope he does get in the ring. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, don't browbeat him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, it is what it is. But yeah,
there's a lot of, I think, second and third generation talent that's coming up that, you know, are going to be the future. You know, look at Arn's kid.
Yes.
Brock.
Oh yeah, I'd love to have a match with Brock. Oh man, he moves just like his dad, you know. And Arn Anderson, yeah, he's one producer I would not want to piss off, you know.
He looks mean.
Yeah, you know, like.
I mean, you all saw that promo.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Pull out the gun promo, the Glock Anderson is what they call it.
Oh, yes. Arn, man, like, I remember I had a match with EC3 for NXT, and something happened where it was really his fault in the match. Something happened, and we came to the back, and Arn's like, what the fuck was that? It's like, you're trying to get me fired? Like, I said, I'm sorry, Arn. I'm sorry. Yeah, but yeah, it was EC3's fault. Whatever the fuck we did in the ring. But yeah, you don't want to get Arn pissed off. He's one producer. You don't want to get mad.
For sure. You're pretty good at impressions.
No, I try.
Now, come on.
I try.
Do you got? All right. I have a little test for you.
No, don't put me on the spot.
Do you have a Dusty?
Oh,
I mean, I was gonna say, give me advice from Dusty. Like something he would have said to you in NXT or something in his voice. If you can.
You know when Dusty. Oh, see, you put me on the spot.
It's all good.
Deep breath.
Yeah.
'Cause I got some backups if Dusty's not.
Wait, you got backup?
I mean, being 53, a child of the 80s, can you do a little Rick Rude?
No, I can't do Rick Rude.
Ultimate Warrior, just grunt?
No, I
Just
can't do that. No, I can't do that.
Who's your best? You would say your best impression, the most comfortable one.
I just did John Laurinaitis. Fred. I remember when I hired you. See, I'm fucking myself up.
That's
bad
good.
luck.
Yeah, don't hurt your toe. You got promos to cut later
Yeah.
as a champion.
That's bad luck, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would always do John Laurinaitis. Who else would I do? I forget. But yeah, now when you put me on a spot, I can't perform. You just got to let me flow.
It's like stand-up.
Make me laugh, funny
Earl
man.
tell a joke, I'm like, I start stuttering more than or one of the Dudleys. That gimmick.
Yeah, don't do it to me.
So, do you have a Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, off the top of my head, I would have to say Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels. I'm gonna put a big guy in there, Yokozuna.
Wow. Okay.
Don't get much bigger.
Wait, so how many? 3?
Right.
How many do I need? 2 more or one more? One more?
One more. Yeah.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want mine? Well, see, the 80s was different. You young kids don't get it.
Oh, I get it.
I mean, I would, just given, I don't like the most technical wrestlers. I want to be entertained. So,
okay.
To me, Sid Vicious was
Oh.
just for that time frame. I really thought he was insane.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Warrior, and I cried when this next person died, and I'm being completely serious. Kamala.
Oh, really?
This was back before the internet, so I'm not trying to be funny. I really thought he was from Uganda, and I was like, how'd they get him over here? This is crazy. And who communicates with him? He just goes like that.
No. Oh, but when he passed away, you were.
Oh, I was. I'm not gonna lie and say I was devastated, but when. Heroes of yours from your childhood, start passing.
And he was like an amputee too, so he struggled, right?
He had both legs, and I won't mention any organizations, but he was not. Chris Jericho paid for his funeral, so
my God,
I thought
I didn't know that.
Which is why I love Jericho for many, many reasons.
Is that public? I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he advertises, "Hey, I'm a great guy."
Yeah. Oh my God.
But
wow.
So to see him go out the way, because he had some great feuds with The Undertaker.
Yes.
So I'll say a fourth guy, just because I like the wackier angles, Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh.
Who probably would not be on most people's Mount Rushmores, but I'm old, so.
Hey.
Abdul the Butcher.
Not the most well-liked guy for...
He wasn't well-liked?
Well, he would blade other people without their consent.
Oh.
To put it mildly.
Yeah, he would stab people with forks.
He gave one wrestler who's had a WWE... He was accepted by the WWE. Hannibal is his name. He's a Canadian wrestler, but he got hepatitis from Abdullah, because Abdullah had hepatitis.
Wow.
He didn't tell anybody. So then the WWE took away the job offer. I'm full of useless information.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know, but it's very intriguing.
So
I didn't know.
My bizarre Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
That's very bizarre.
All right. I have a hard time having a Mount Rushmore, but I think Stone Cold has to be on the top of that list for me. Just, it was perfect timing for my age, and me getting into the beer thing. So Stone Cold.
And I need to be on his podcast, man. I remember Mark Henry 2 years ago, saying, "Oh, Stone Cold wants you on his podcast." Well, all right. Well, I mean, I've been asking Mark for years. When is he gonna have me on his podcast? Does he still do it?
I don't think he does the regular podcast anymore. I think he just does the Broken Skull sessions on the WWE Network thing.
Yeah,
on
man.
Peacock or whatever it is. But he's had Jericho on there while Jericho was in AEW. So like to me that was so I have this like internal suspicion that they are working together. They're just not really talking about it because
What you think? Who?
like WWE and AEW, I know that it's probably impossible, but just the fact that we saw Jericho on Stone Cold Sting kind of made me like, what? Like, how is he there? And they talked about it. It wasn't like they skirted around the name or anything. They said All Elite, all the time.
The thing
can't
is, Jericho's
see-
going to do what he wants, man.
That's
I
true,
love
too.
Jericho, but what were you going to say?
I can't see Tony Khan and Vince McMahon working together. But I mean, I know it's wrestling; anything's possible. But those are just two guys that don't seem like they would gel.
No.
Well, why do you say that?
Well, I think Vince probably sees Tony as too much of a fan, even though that he has more money than Vince, technically and all that. I just think Vince will probably see him as a fan and not like on his level or whatever it is, because
Well, like also back in the day, back in the 80s, Vince was a little bit more loose, right? He would hang out with the talent and get messed up. Now, I mean, he's older now. Now there's people you have to go through to get to Vince, Before it was just back in the day, Vince, maybe Pat Patterson doing stuff, Gorilla Monsoon. But now there's a plethora of people to get to Vince.
Yeah. Sometimes he'll never even get, like if you send a message up that ladder, he'll never even get it.
Like you said, I would imagine now in his mid-70s, he's pretty isolated from anyone that's not incredibly in his probably inner circle of less than 4 people.
Well, now I hear someone's like actually sitting outside his office door, so you can't just walk into his office. The one thing I learned from Titus O'Neil's, like, closed mouths don't get fed. If we weren't on TV, not in a bad way, but he had a relationship with Vince where we could just bust in his office, and just, hey, boss, what you got for us? If we're not doing anything on Raw, we would do stuff on the app when we were doing the app. So, yeah, that's one thing I learned about Titus, You're not going to get anywhere by just sitting around. So, Titus was aggressive. He would walk right in. So that's what I learned from him.
Yeah, man. I'm the same way. I mean, that's how this whole show happened. I just kept asking until someone said yes. So
Yeah.
Until you found one paid regular who knew what the hell he was talking about.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, within reasonable.
So what's
Wait, no, you got to finish your
my Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, come on.
Stone Cold, Ric Flair,
Ric Flair, yeah.
Undertaker, and Macho Man. That's my. And, that's just my WWE Mount Rushmore. I don't want to get into too many details. Like if I want to talk about Bruiser Brody or...
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It's so
far
hard to
back.
have name just 4
Yeah.
people. Like even at this XPW show I was at, Sabu showed up.
Oh.
And like if you like hardcore matches, he's got to be number 1 on most people's list of that, death match.
Wait, did he wrestle?
He was involved in a very funny angle where he gets a King of the Death Match Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, okay.
And this guy, Dirty Ron, came in and attacked him.
Oh, goodness.
And it was funny because I was in the back listening to them go over, because they had never met before. And Sabu just looks at him and says, "You know how to hit me, right?" And it was just
hit
fascinating
me with a
to
chair.
see that conversation. And Sabu's literally showing him where he wants to get hit, because I can imagine how sore he must be given.
Of course.
And he's like, "Don't hit me with a light bulb over my neck because it has rods in it." And it was like,
Fuck, that's scary, yeah.
Someone should have told that to Nick Gage when he almost killed David Arquette in a local show here in L.A. Did you hear about this one?
No.
You know Nick Gage? From,
Yeah.
He broke a light tube and then just stabbed him right in the neck with the light tube.
Wait, didn't I see a documentary?
yeah.
Yes.
Pretty fascinating.
Oh, so he was pissed afterwards, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Dave Arquette. Oh, okay. I thought that
Because
was...
he was bleeding profusely. And that's a very
I saw it.
delicate area to be stabbing people.
Wow. Yeah, I thought it was part of, I'm a fan, so I thought it was just part of it, but I didn't think it was like, wow.
I'm sure there was the spot was spoken of, but maybe Gage went a little too far. That's the other thing when you were mentioning earlier, not wanting to do deathmatch, like, no matter how safe the person is or how much you trust them, there's always going to be shards of glass that you cannot control flying around that could just get in your eye and ruin your vision for the rest of your life, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think Arquette's a very controversial figure with pro wrestlers because he, I'm sure when he won the belt for the movie Ready to Rumble, I think Bischoff thought, oh, this is a great idea. We'll make you the actual champion.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that went over well with guys like Sting.
Yeah.
Broke his back for 25 years at that point.
WCW was a money pit back then, right? So,
Oh, my God. Well, I read Jericho's book. He said when he first went there, Bischoff just looked at him and said, what do you want?
oh my God.
And Jericho said, how about $100,000? And Bischoff was like, how about 150? Like, it's
Wow,
insane. There's something, where he got offered more than he asked for.
Yeah.
So that's Ted Turner being.
Ted, a billionaire, having money to spare.
I wonder if AEW is like that. Probably not. Probably not.
I think he's got a lot of money, and I think he's a fan of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think he's willing to cut. I don't think it's crazy like that, where just like, let's just throw money away.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's not, holding back when he wants someone. If he really wants someone there, he's probably.
But I like that he's a fan who has the financial wherewithal to. Yeah, I want Samoa Joe in AEW. What do you want, Samoa Joe?
Yeah.
Here's the check.
Yeah, I mean, opportunity for everyone. I'm still a fan, so yeah. I want to see these guys work, not just WWE, but somewhere else. So yeah, why not? Why not?
So we got to wrap it up soon.
How long have we been going?
I don't know.
Probably an hour.
Hour, no.
We don't have to do anything. Just keep going.
I just wanted to know what are the plans for you? What's next now? Are you done with Lawler? Are you gonna, is that gonna keep going? Do you have your eye on someone that you think is worthy of a challenge for the belt?
Well, Lawler was a great champion. I just hope I can be as good of a champion as he was, So, I'm open to all competitors. I just want to do well, man.
You're gonna do like an open challenge?
Open challenge, who knows? But I'm my own worst critic, man. I just want to be able to deliver good matches, man. Good matches. I want to do 30 years, so I have maybe another 10 years left,
Well, that's a long time.
But I don't want to limit myself. But yeah, I just want to have good matches, man. I just want to be able to hang with guys in New Japan and beyond, because I just wasn't given that chance when I was with WWE to really like be a main event player, you know what I mean? So I just want to be able to have bangers with everyone.
Is that the politics that go on to you not being able to go to where you knew you could go to in WWE? Is that, how do you navigate that world? 'Cause
Well, the thing is, I was thinking earlier when I first won the title, like the stuff that I had to go through. And I remember talking to a representative for GLAD, and they had told me, and they worked with WWE, they said, the GLAD representative said, we appreciate everything you've done in the community, but WWE is not ready for a gay champion, And like I said, I'm not all rainbowed out and stuff like that. People know my story. They know my backstory. And I said earlier, the seconds of me winning this title, it didn't matter about being gay or any of that stuff, It mattered. The people wanted to see me win. And at the ECW arena, the reaction I got was different because it was like a roar from the crowd. Like, yeah, he did it. It was a reaction I've never experienced, and it's a reaction I never heard with any other talent. You hear people cheer for a win, you hear for Sting, Undertaker, but for me, in that kind of intimate ECW type setting, you go to my Instagram, Real Fred Rosser, and you hear the crowd, that raw, because they just wanted me to win. So none of that stuff, none of my backstory mattered. They just wanted to see me win, and they saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm so happy for you, man. Like I said, I watched that whole storyline with Lawler, and I've seen your journey. It's been a very long, like you said, 20 years.
Yeah.
But you still got more time to do more. I'm honored that you came here, especially knowing your backstory and everything. So, but how do you feel? You opened the door for a lot of wrestlers that were afraid to come out.
Yeah.
But I still don't feel like it's as easy as it should be. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's still like a handful, like maybe Effie or, there's a handful of talent that's open. Why do you think that is? Like, is there still some kind of weird vibe backstage with that, or that people are scared to, be around, or what do you think that is? Like, why don't you think it's more open at this point?
I think
like it shouldn't matter. You know what I mean? It should just be it, but it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah, I can only control my actions, and I know every day my feet touch the ground, someone in the community is counting on me. So with New Japan, whether it's on my social media or on the big screen with WWE, or if I ever get a chance with AEW, I want people to see me and say, well, if he can do it, so can I. No one should force you to come out. No, when you feel comfortable, do it, you know?
Yeah.
And when you do it, try to represent, you know? When I came out, I have a duty to instill confidence in our youth and to lead by example. I speak to kids all over the world, you know, fifth graders, and that's the true test of a promo, to talk to fifth graders and have their attention for 45 minutes, you know, and talk about your story. I don't go into details because fourth graders, they're still talking about dinosaurs and aliens and all that stuff, so I don't need to go into that. But what's important to me is the bullying and stuff like that. So on top of the wrestling, I'm speaking to schools about the effects of bullying, cyberbullying, and
No, block the hate, right?
yeah, Block the Hate is running wild now. Anywhere I go, I always bring the Block the Hate Legacy Championship. I didn't bring it today because I'm not gonna be like Zack Ryder
And walk around with all the belts.
carrying all that shit, you know, and get fucked up on the street.
Yeah.
But
Rough neighborhood around here, to be honest with you.
no. But yeah, I just gotta represent, and yeah, I have my whole block tape movement. I always say I do more than just wrestle. I give back to the community by spreading the word about Block the Hate. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, we really appreciate you coming down here and hanging out. Hopefully, you know, the doors open whenever you want to come hang out and watch a show.
I have many more questions.
Yeah,
but,
many more questions.
We
Really?
can't ask them.
Oh, I mean,
Can I ask you one more?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you think the reluctance of some wrestlers who are still in the closet is they look back? You mentioned watching tape, and
Yeah.
like I go on YouTube a lot, you know, when I'm down, and I'll watch an old match from the '80s on how certain characters were portrayed in the wrestling business. Like Adrian Adonis
Yes.
was portrayed as kind of a buffoon, a gay buffoon.
Yeah.
You know, the Billy and Chuck angle,
Yeah.
where
Goldust.
you know, Goldust and that whole.
Yeah.
Do you think that's doesn't help people want to come out because they don't want to be asked to do something like
Get a new gimmick that it's more about that than anything else.
right? Because like as a straight man, I look at some of those characters and they're pretty cringeworthy. Like, I mean, like I was a huge Adrian Adonis. fan, and
Of
still am.
course. He was a badass too.
Oh, he could kick- yeah.
he would prance around there, and that's what made, you know, being gay, you know, it comes in all sizes and shapes, you know. Some are feminine, some are masculine. Adrian Adonis could whoop ass. Goldust is one of my great friends. Like when him and I were in WWE together and we would team, I was a sponge, you know. I'd always follow him around. I'd always say, "Oh, Goldie, I'll take the heat tonight. I'll get beat up," you know, because my goal is to outsell him because he's one of the best at really getting the people into it. So I would try to outsell him, and that's what Tom and I do. We try to outsell each other, you know. And when you try to outsell someone, you create magic, you know. If you punch me in the nose, I'm gonna grab it like, you know, and I'm gonna start stumbling like, man, you really broke my nose. I'm trying to make it look good. I'm not gonna just take a punch in the nose and just look at you, you know.
Like Suzuki does sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. That's his thing, though.
But when he does it in a way where he'll take it and then it's just like a movie. Like he'll just look at you. Like you see those videos of him looking at you. That's still selling, you know.
Yeah.
That's still like, oh man, like
Like, oh, you
because
pissed him off.
Yeah, because he is a badass, you know. He is a badass. So just like that's, you know, that's what I want to captivate the people with the selling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know you're a fan of Shawn Michaels. You mentioned him on your Mount Rushmore, but I mean, talk about super selling.
Yes.
Whenever he would go flying over the top
Yeah.
rope.
Sometimes, like when he wrestled Hulk Hogan,
yes.
I
Hulk
guess they
Hogan.
had issue on.
But it looked good, man. For me, it looked good. I know it might have looked hokey when he took a boot or something, but it looked good to me. It looked good.
I love Mr. Perfect as the ultimate
Yes,
seller. Like,
yes.
He made Karl Malone look like a 20-year vet
Yes.
when he did the Diamond Cutter.
Mr. Perfect, he should be up on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, there's so many. I didn't even
Yeah.
mention Sting, and he's
Yeah.
Right.
and Piper, who
Yes.
like there's so many.
Yes.
It's almost unfair to say 4.
Yes.
It should be 10.
Yes.
Do you have any other ones? You said you had so many questions.
Well, I do, but like I know John's staring at us like the fucking Grim Reaper.
Anytime, any place, I can always come back.
Yeah,
like I
we'll do a
said,
flip
That's the
second
part.
episode.
I don't work. You said you don't work well, when you're under the gun. Now I feel like pressure. Yeah, but you have a presence like the Undertaker staring at me right now.
Pallbearer.
So
No, the rundown is short.
I'll just say I can't thank you enough for doing this.
no, it's cool. I mean, I can prepare for these sit-down interviews, but I got to speak from the heart. So I hope I was able to do a good job for you guys.
Oh, you were amazing and like inspirational to a lot of young kids and wrestlers who maybe aren't ready to come out yet, and like they see your success, and like it's very motivating and inspirational.
But I'll definitely be back here because it's one of my favorite activities. I don't hang out at bars anymore. I've been there, done that. August 2017, I haven't had a drink. August 2017 is when I moved to LA. So I would drink back in the day in WWE. And when I mean drink, I'm talking 7 a.m., 8 a.m., before events, before Be a Star anti-bullying rallies, to take the edge off. And I say it publicly. This isn't the first time me talking about it, but like, you know, we're living like rock stars, you know. We're on the go. We're under a lot of pressure, and I'm not the only one that would do it. Plenty of guys probably still do it, but I didn't want to bring that to LA when I moved out here full time. So I don't drink, but I'm advocate for cannabis, advocate for CBD and all that other stuff, so people don't get hooked on the the pain pills and all that stuff that have taken a lot of wrestlers. So yeah, you know, I'm definitely gonna come back here because this is a cool little venue to laugh, because that's what we need. So I'll definitely be back here.
Well, I'll do all my wrestling jokes.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
He's got some good ones.
I got some good ones.
yeah?
He's got some
Hulk
good ones.
Hogan sex tape. You know.
Oh, okay.
It was fascinating. He actually called the girl brother.
Oh shit.
I'll leave it. That's just a little teaser.
Yeah.
You
Don't
gotta
give
pay
away
for
all
the
your
rest.
jokes. But yeah, we definitely love to have you back for another episode down the road. I mean, maybe when you're an IWGP champion as well.
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure.
When you beat Jay White's ass.
Yeah,
Oh
right.
man, Jay White. He reminds me of damn man, I'm forgetting his name. He played the Joker. Oh, Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
He reminds you of Heath Ledger. When you see Jay White, you just don't know what he's gonna say, but he's just very mysterious. He'll grab the mic and people waiting for him to talk, and then he'll just leave. Like, he's very mysterious. You just never know what he's gonna do. And just to share a locker room with him is amazing, you know, because he's asking me for advice. I'm asking him for advice. So Jay's one of the best. So hopefully I can work him someday.
Cool. You got anything else?
Well, we have to go, so let's just wrap it up.
Okay, guys, it's time to take it home. I'm doing a little JR here.
Oh, take
Okay,
it home.
time to take it home, fellas.
This has been a real slobber knocker.
Right off into the sunset. So where can people find out more about Block the Hate? Where can people find you online? Give all the plugs.
Hashtag Block the Hate and Twitter, Instagram. My government name @Real Fred Rosser. Block the Hate, salute the greats. What it's all about.
Awesome. Yes. And myself at RRBG Podcast. Make sure to follow the show at Comedy Store Wrestling. We're on Twitter now, and it's @StoreIsWar. And we have our email. If you want to email us any suggestions or anything you want, we'll filter it through Earl, but ComedyStoreWrestling@gmail.com.
I'm at Earl Skakel everywhere. Let me spell it out because I know some of you are wrestling fans.
Oh, shit.
Oh, cutting the promo on the fan.
EARLSKAKEL. I'll get you free tickets, whatever. You cheap bastards.
Hey, if you do a show here, make sure you have me.
Oh, I would love to, because I have all these wrestling jokes that people just look at me and like.
No, I'm talking.
That means a pro wrestler.
I'm talking about my wrestling show.
No, but that's pretty cool. You do it. You do a match, and then you do a
Stand up.
match. You know.
Or I could be your evil manager. You know, you
You can do that too.
you
can do that
I
too.
would summon the ghost of Gary Hart Shit! Who was a white guy who spoke jive.
Oh no.
So he managed Abdullah the Butcher. He's like, my brothers, Abdullah, come from the Sudan. He don't come from the Sudan. He comes from Windsor, Ontario. And his name's Larry. You idiots.
That's good.
Well, you're on
I'm
the
getting pumped.
you're on the
That's
jellies.
good.
You can get away with that.
I am the only white guy in an all-black cartoon, so that worked out. It's a dream job in many ways. Sorry,
That's good.
in my eye.
That's good.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Yes.